and murdered Gaddafi. Libya, under Gaddafi's rule, while he may not have been a wonderful philosopher, king, leader, but under his rule, Libya had one of the highest standards of living in all of Africa. They murdered him, shot the country up, destroyed the country, and you read in the paper every day that there's a new terrorist attack, there is a new government, and there is a attempt to secede from one part of the place or the other. And then they moved all the bad guys into Syria, and they've done pretty much the same thing there. Syria is essentially a non-state now. Damascus, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world, is about the only thing that Bashar al-Assad really controls. And they've destroyed most of the United Nations World Heritage Sites, and nobody seems to care. They just seem to think that, well, we need to get rid of Bashar al-Assad and then Syria will be so much better. But they ignore the fact that Bashar al-Assad has kept together a patchwork of religions and cultures and philosophies together. And while Syria might not have been a country with a fantastic standard of living and so forth.
Sure, I mean, compared to Al-Qaeda, Assad is a philosopher king.
Yeah.
And expanding on that, Hillary said, I made a mistake in Libya, and they have these headlines saying, Libya now a failed state, hell on earth, thousands being killed a month, black Africans being targeted by jihadis, and they act like they screwed up. The plan was to destabilize it because Libya was uplifting all of Africa. It was creating an investment fund that actually was helping. So, I mean, you could say Gaddafi was a bad guy a long time ago, but he actually was starting to live more frugally and was giving almost all the money to the people. I'm not endorsing socialism, but he was actually doing it, and it was actually working in the public works he was putting in, and the money he was giving to other countries. And now all of Africa is as you know, they admit, descending into hell, and Al-Qaeda forces are spreading all over the continent. I mean, and then AFRICOM says, oh, now we can come in to deal with the threat.
Yeah. I was talking about that on RT a couple of weeks ago with a guy from Cairo University who was an expert on Africa. And he and I agreed that this Boko Haram business is just another version of Al-Qaeda. It's another rebranding of the franchise of lunatics and crazies that allegedly espouse Islam. And we thought, both of us, that this is another way to destabilize that part of Africa because it was spreading beyond the original infection point to other countries nearby.
Simply amazing. The new book, Visas for Al-Qaeda. Where's the best place for people to find it? Amazon.com?
Getting it from Amazon.com. It's in Amazon in the U.S. and Amazon in Britain, France, and Germany as well.
People need to read this book and see the facts for themselves, especially now that all this is coming out. Say, see, we told you so.
And they can also get it as an ebook as well.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and talk to Jeff in Georgia. Jeff, thanks for holding her on the air.
Thanks, Alex. Great to talk to you today. Great conversation, great guest. It would be great to have McAfee, him, Siebel Edmonds, Tosh Pumley all sitting at the same table and get some stories from that. Specifically, I called to ask his reaction when he saw this whole underwear bomber thing go down and the exposure by Kurt Haskell. Can't recall his name exactly, but the exposure of that and how the man was let on the plane and, again, signed off by CIA and allowed on board.
Well, basically, from what I understand, this underwear bomber somehow, he didn't really have the proper paperwork to get on the airplane. He didn't have a visa, I think.
That's right.
And he was shepherded through a security...
A sharp-dressed, well-spoken American man basically argued and ordered them to let him in. So knowing your background, who has enough power to order people to do that?
The United States government, TSA, the CIA, the State Department. We don't know. It was an Israeli company that was running the security at the airport. And it was, so strange that, somebody puts underwear, fills his underwear with explosives and tries to set them off on the airplane. That's more along the lines of the shoe bomber, where the guy tried to set fire to the shoe in the cabin that all it does is create an opportunity for creating fear, on creating tighter alleged security theater, I think is a better word for it. I think basically it's absolute nonsense.
And then that makes everyone a suspect when it's the shoes, it's the belt, it's the shampoo.
Yeah. Or breast milk for women who are lactating.
Well, that's who you got to watch. Can't trust anybody but the government and the big corporations that run it. Jeff, does that answer your question?
Yeah, and then just to tie in that, well, we do know what the, who benefited from that, and that was Chertoff. As soon as he leaves the government, he goes to work for the company that had the body scanners all lined up and ready to go.
No, that's right. That's what I understand.
Simply amazing. Caller, we're going to jump. Thank you. Jerry, Gordon, Max, Stephen, and others. Your phone calls are coming up. I'm Alex Jones. We're talking to J. Michael Springman, an insider view, visas for Al-Qaeda, CIA handouts that rock the world. It looks like they're building up again for major events.
Communist China freely allows the sale of bulletproof armor plates, while our U.S. politicians argue from banning Americans from owning body armor.
Does that sound right to you?
Arm your American body at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Hey, Boomer! I learned in school today that 60% of our bodies are made of water. Good thing we have the Berkey system. It's the cleanest, best water ever. Mom says it's because the Berkey's filtration system cleans out the bad stuff and leaves only pure, delicious water. I know, right? You love it too. Yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get some. Get Berkey clean water by calling 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Or visit GoBerkey.com.
Hi, I'm Alex Jones. When I got on air 20 years ago, I weighed 180 pounds. I lift weights 5 days a week. I could swim 2-3 miles. Then I discovered the New World Order, the globalists, their agenda. I started an Access television show. I was so dedicated to my work and hanging around with radio guys that I began drinking. I began smoking cigars and then even cigarettes. I transformed from looking like a white Bruce Lee to looking like a Jabba the Hutt. So I began a journey 5 years ago to shed the almost 100 pounds. I started taking Super Male Vitality and saw dramatic results in just a few weeks. When I added to the mix the key products developed by Dr. Group for InfoWarsLife.com, the results were incredible. Take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge today at InfoWarsLife.com or give our crew a call. They can answer all your questions or tell you about any of the specials at 888-253-3139.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
Holder's gun ban targets veterans. I'm going to detail that article coming up. Military Bulletin labels Patriot groups militia. Domestic terrorists says they're about to attack on April 19th. That's what all these military drills are about. And then it's the right wing supporting the whole police state takeover. And meanwhile, they're being prepared to attack them. It's just hilarious if it wasn't so sick. Also, they're saying it's sexist if you don't want a overweight girlfriend. And that it's a conspiracy of the male patriarchy that we don't want that. in the news. Paul Watson breaks it down. I don't know. I'm not into really skinny women. I'm going to be honest. I like voluptuous. I mean, I think everybody has different tastes. Some people are into 400-pound women. I mean, this is how this works. You can be in you can like what you want. I'm going to like what I like. I mean, in Turkey, I hear they like big women, or at least they used to. That's fine. You can have them. It's just that we're allowed to have our own views and our own taste. But that's coming up in the next hour. I want to do this segment in 5 more minutes with our guest, if he can stay with us, so we have enough time to take some of these calls. We have Mr. Springman, Visas for Al-Qaeda author, with us. Jerry in West Virginia, you're on the air.
Yes, hi, Alex and Mr. Springman. I just really am curious about the 28 pages that were unclassified and have yet to be released. I also lived in Saudi Arabia, and no one is aware of all the Americans and UKs that are locked up in the Saudi jails, that Aramco, Arabian American Oil Company, whom I worked for, doesn't do anything to help these American and Brits and other people that are there. And the stories can go on of the horrendous treatment of foreigners and expats living in Saudi Arabia.
But that's politically correct. I mean, they're allowed to because it's the right thing to do. Just like Mexico can torture our people, and that's okay. Do you have a question for Mr. Springman?
Yes, I want to know where the 28 pages are.
That's a great question. What do you make of all that and the people that have seen it and what they say, Mr. Springman?
Well, the thing of it is that the United States tends to overclassify a lot of things, but also at the same time, they will not let anything out that will make the government look bad, that will make a politician look bad, that will make a decision look bad. So I think the 28 pages are, A, either nothing, or B, it's a bombshell, and it shows the ties of the Saudis and maybe the Israelis and the American government officials to September 11th. And the only way to learn about it is to declassify the 28 pages.
Well, I've talked to Congressman Jones and others, and they say they've seen it. It's beyond that. It's stand down. It's that people were ordered to basically shut up and let it happen because they didn't want to, quote, embarrass Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, and I can see them holding the lid on and doing their damnedest to keep the truth from getting out.
What happens if it does come out that Saudi Arabia ran the attacks and that our own government stood down? That makes them complicit, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, indeed. And the United States is working with the Saudis to destabilize all the countries in the Middle East, most notably now in Yemen. It's the Saudis with American advice and assistance and intelligence from NSA spies in the sky to go and kill civilians in Yemen because they're the wrong brand of Islam and because the Saudis want complete control of the Arabian Peninsula.
That's right. It's about Saudi Arabia setting up a globalist empire, and they're the muscle. Unbelievable. Jerry, great question. Thank you. One more call before we go to break. Max in Wisconsin, you're on the air.
Greetings, Alex. When Smitty was talking with you the other day supporting the Hillary Corlocracy, he said that under Clinton we had 8 years of peace and whatever. As a Serbian-American libertarian, I wonder if Hillary gets installed, if I will get JDAM, drone, or DU. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, let's talk about that when we come back. If Mr. Springman can do 5 more minutes. Can you do 5 more, sir?
Sure.
All right, we're going to go break 70 seconds, come back and talk about that. I mean, look, both parties are a bunch of warmongers. I mean, one thing, we're fighting a war to defend somebody. We're fighting wars to destabilize. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.